joining us to talk about the earnings that have been declared as well as plans for the new financial year is Prakash Manchanda, the Managing Director of Dr. Lal Pathlabs. Thank you so much for joining us live right here on ET Now. Let's get straight down to it. If I see your top line, the growth stood at almost 13% year on year, but sequentially, month on month, it's down 2%. So the question is, and this is what the street will want to know, as the world reopens, as we put COVID-19 behind us, how exactly are you seeing the diagnostics business pan out? The kind of growth that you saw the last 2 years may not be sustainable.
See, non-COVID business this quarter was impacted in the month of January when Omicron wave was there. I think that has impacted this, but otherwise, if I adjust for that month, then our non-COVID growth is back to what we normally used to do pre-COVID days. So I think our March month reflects a very good non-COVID growth. So I'm pretty confident that in FY23 coming, we should do a normal COVID growth, non-COVID growth, which we were doing before.
Let's talk about the margins. If you look at the normalized EBITDA margin, that's at 26.9%. That is also down sequentially. It's down sequentially from almost 29%. Any guidance you can give us as far as margins go? Do you expect margins to continue to be squeezed out at least for a quarter or two?
See, what has happened is that in the last 2 years, because of high COVID component in our sales, we experienced a good operating leverage, and that led to a slight increase in margins. So as we are seeing in coming financial year that COVID will not be that much as we had seen in the previous years, I foresee that our margins should go back to what we used to deliver during the pre-COVID days. So in my sense, our margins used to be between 25-26% in the past. I think if there is no COVID this year, or it is very muted, then we should go back to the old trajectory and margins.
Right. Mr. Manchanda, what I also wanted to understand was the impact of disruption due to startups now offering tests at very low prices. What is the strategy that you at Dr. Lal have put on place or are already undertaking to tackle this problem?
So I think, to my mind, this kind of competition was always there in the market. It's just that it's much more visible due to these startups and private equity funding. So in my view, healthcare is a business where the proposition is more on trust. And it's not about who is selling at the lowest price point and he or she will be the winner. It's just that it has to be affordable. I think at the end of the day, consumers or patients are looking for quality diagnostics. Diagnostics is just about 5% of the total healthcare cost. So if anything goes wrong, it has a huge sort of implication on downstream clinical outcomes as well as overall healthcare costs. So in my view, it's not about lowest price cost. It's just about good quality diagnostics and trust patients have on the brand.
So what are the expansion and growth plans for FY23? If there's any capex or acquisitions that one can expect this year?
See, we've always stated that our growth is going to be a combination of both inorganic and organic. And organically, we continue to build satellite labs across the country. And in the last financial year, we had a very sharp focus on South region in terms of organic, and we acquired Suburban in West region. And we will continue to follow the same strategy of building our footprint, widening our footprint in South and West region. And we also plan to go to tier 2, tier 3 towns in our strong markets like Northern and Eastern India. So overall, our efforts will be to continue to widen our footprint. Second growth strategy would be to widen our test menu in regional labs because service is a very important parameter these days. So turnaround time has to be improved. So we want to take high-end test menu to regional labs. And third pillar would be to invest behind digital technologies to provide consumer convenience. So I think these are 3 or 4 parameters to drive growth in the coming financial year.
And finally, any new high-margin businesses that you're expected to foray into soon?
See, as of now, we are completely focused on what we are good at, that is diagnostics. We will certainly look at new offering of tests which are primarily in the area of molecular diagnostics and genomics. So, but we will stay focused on diagnostic space.
So much, Mr. Manchanda, for joining in and sharing with us the outlook on your growth strategy as well as the numbers.